I think of Baja, I think of the atmosphere, the people, pretty senoritas, and Pacific coastlines.
I've never been to Mexico before, so this was the first time south of the border.
With Mr. Mal and Miss Linda coming, I can't stress how important it is for this trip to go right.
You need somebody bilingual.
Man, he's an asset.
Definitely want a complete tool bag.
I don't know welding finish.
We didn't bring tools with us.
At the end of the day, I could leave them gringos in the desert if I wanted to.
It's gonna spiral out of control quick.
Ah! Man, you get in front of me.
I'm done. Baja to me is the Wild West.
First thing that comes to mind, beautiful, tough, rough.
It's a whole lot of goodie bag put into one, man.
Some of the craziest, roughest off-road races in the world is down in Baja, Mexico.
You know, growing up as a kid, I always watched the racing. Actually was able to go down and do a couple races, kind of a childhood dream of mine.
I've never been to Mexico before, so I was excited to go check it out for myself.
So right now we've got a lot of stuff going on out west with racing, with a trip to Glamis, with all the craziness that we do and the travel back and forth.
Now that Glamis is over, we're taking this same X3 and it's getting repurposed into a Baja pre-running machine.
Since I have to work out the logistics for our group, I said, you know what, Manny, why don't you just stay out there, keep the car with you, get everything ready.
Did I want to stay in California? No.
So Manny stayed behind in California where everybody else came home.
Beautiful California. We got to thank Matt Burrows and Don Woods, you know, offering his house, and now we're going to try to build a full Baja build right here in the driveway.
Fast forward a little bit, and then we're going to reconvene in California and drive down to Baja.
For me, this is a foolproof plan. It works perfectly.
That was the plan.
We took quite a bit of things down on this trip to be able to pull this off. Okay, I gotta find the lug nuts, the lug nut key. Comes time to work on some bikes, and I can't find a thing. We're gonna load the whole truck. I don't know where nothing is.
Yeah, so I helped load the trucks and trailers before they left the shop.
Not what I was looking for.
And everything was nice and neat.
Not what I was looking for either. The organization of our crew is phenomenal. Starting to find some of our tools.
I'm very organized. Like, you can tell by my office and, like, right at your fingertips, whatever you need, I got it.
It would be the 10 that's missing.
You know, they always say that you can tell how organized a person is by looking in their vehicle. Mine's spotless. So if that tells you anything.
Oh, man. You know, you try to do sand ride, you try to do desert ride. It's two different elements, it's two different style, everything. So we got a laundry list.
Manny had quite a bit of work to do in just a short amount of time to get this car from a Glamis dune build to a Baja pre-runner before we get down there.
We swapped out the wheels and tires for some more suited to desert terrain.
Wood KMC wheels with some 32-inch ITPs on it.
We're pulling the big turbo kit off because the fuel down in Baja is not great.
A couple other little things, put a roof rack on it.
We're mounting a spare tire and a rear bumper on the back.
Stuff that would make it useful down in Mexico.
And what's awesome about the new Can-Am X3 is it's such a versatile vehicle. And so we're taking it from a crazy big horsepower car out in Glamis and converting this into a car that we're fixing to put 600 or 800 miles on. We're running a stock car in both scenarios.
We've got a very good understanding of how to set these machines up, and I felt we were prepared as we could be.
Man, ain't y'all a sight for sore eyes. I thought y'all just moved away completely.
At this point, I hadn't seen the guys and it felt like eternity, so I done forgot some of their faces.
I forgot we was all friends together. Oh, man.
You know, during this pre-runner trip, I was gonna need a vehicle to drive, so Matt Burrows with Monster Energy was gracious enough to let me borrow one of his pre-runners.
He must not know the history of rentals in our group, so he's very brave.
Mr. Mal and Miss Linda are coming down to this trip, and I don't think Miss Linda has been on one since we went out to Tennessee.
Whole new experience for me. We're gonna find out.
It's no mystery that Miss Linda hadn't been involved in the last couple trips.
She doesn't know if she's excited yet or not, you know, that depends on the riding.
Miss Linda's like the mom of the group. I think she kind of knows that we're not great at minor details and we're kind of a wing it type group.
You're beautiful.
Of all places for Miss Linda to come try down in Mexico, where we have no idea what we're doing, we don't speak the language.
I'm just ready to hit Mexico. We got a border to cross.
I'm not gonna let her down. I'm gonna make her proud.
So Baja, California is not in actually the United States or California like some people may think. It's actually the little peninsula of Mexico.
Some of the most beautiful coasts and deserts, and I definitely heard it was a wild place for sure.
First day riding in Baja. It's beautiful out here. It's gonna be a fun couple of days, man. Some exploring down here in the Wild West.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Right on the ocean. I got Manny as an interpreter, so I'm good.
I am the only one in this group that's bilingual.
Look at what's going on in here. These freak dudes in here speaking another language.
Before this trip to Baja, I knew very little Spanish. It's not that difficult of a language to crack.
Oh, no.
We got some that are trying to be bilingual.
Oh, no. It sounds exactly like them.
We're ready, guys.
Angel is a guy from down here in Mexico. He's been racing for years. He knows this place and the back roads and the trails like no other, so he's gonna take us to some really cool spots. Just keep gas in the cars, keep water in the coolers, and keep Uncrustables out of the coolers. Okay, let's do this. What's cool is Mr. Mal's bringing his stock XRC. Manny's bringing a brand new car with no miles in it, all stock X3s to go down here and run and have a great time.
We wanted to explore and see what Baja had to offer outside of racing.
We got to bring everything with us, be prepared to work on the cars.
You know, Baja finds a way to bite, so I didn't know what to expect.
There's no telling what kind of shenanigans we're going to get into, so it's going to spiral out of control quick.
Yeah, so we found a really big jump. I was a little bit leery about doing it because I was in a rental.
I mean, Burroughs kind of knows our track record of rentals.
Coming in the other year, you got your buddy saying, "Oh man, just hit it wide open." And you know what happens to rentals around this bunch. I just hit it one time and see. And I pretty well sent it off that thing.
What's crazy is the terrain changes a lot down in Baja. They had a pine forest that we could go ride to.
Imagine like a sandy beach, but there are pine trees everywhere.
We had a goal that we were trying to reach. We were trying to make it to this shipwreck, which I didn't tell everybody how far it was from us.
We didn't take into account that DH was in a rental, so, yeah.
We're just on a nice day of a casual trail ride with our buddies, and I come around the corner, and I see that Burroughs' car is now a three-wheeler.
Yeah, just cruising along, and the car squatted in the back, and then the tire comes rolling past me.
Upon further investigation, sheared off all the wheel studs. That can pretty well only happen one way. The lug nuts aren't tight.
We later found out that that car was on a photo shoot and got some tires and wheels put on it.
The only thing he forgot to do is tighten the lug nuts.
Oh boy.
It's one of those many little glitches in the road, as you say. Hopefully it won't take long.
And then you hear those words, "Who's got the tools?"
I don't think anybody packed a tool bag.
All right, so we got a 13 millimeter, a nut driver, another nut driver.
We didn't bring tools because we didn't think we'd need tools.
I think we got enough to make this repair.
We're in Baja. We may die out here.
Of course, we don't have wheel studs, no lug nuts.
We may starve to death. We might never see our families again.
Kind of goes back to that planning thing. We didn't really plan that out well.
Take one of these lug nuts, one of your lug nuts.
You got some pliers in there, man?
I've learned from Mr. Mal, you give me a paper clip, you give me a rubber band, and you give me some duct tape, and I can literally build you a rocket ship.
You don't have a whole lot of tools. You got to figure out old country boy ways to do things.
We started trying to knock out wheel studs from other hubs to replace the ones that had sheared off.
We didn't have a choice. We couldn't stay out here. Man, it was rocks and sticks and...
Throw some dirt on it, I don't know. Something, you just gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
All right, are we ready?
We're going back together, this bad boy.
You can fix anything. Keep going at it, and everybody's got an idea until one of them works, you know.
But it didn't bother me at all. Like, I knew that was our only choice, so we had to find a way to do it.
All right, we're good.
Let me see this.
It is not bad. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Awesome mechanics. Dustin and Manny.
What's crazy is we've broken a lot of bad situations and found our way out. So with minimal tools, it's basically 100%, probably better than new if I had to guess.
I don't think anybody knew where we were going except for probably Dustin and Angel.
With all the stuff that we had going on and Burrow's car losing a tire, I was gonna do everything I could to make sure we got out there to see that shipwreck before dark.
We try to plan our stops out so that it would work with food.
Pound down some tacos, get back out on the road. Everybody was more excited about the tacos. Trace Pastor?
When I was younger, I could eat a lot of tacos.
Gracias, gracias.
My goal was I'm gonna eat tacos every chance I can get and as many of them as I can.
Right now, it's 3 a meal.
It don't matter how many I eat, and nobody's got DH beat.
I could probably take down about 10. I could have ate more. The only reason I stopped is because everybody was making fun of me.
Never spent that much money on tacos in my lifetime. Fill my belly, fill my gas tank. Now it's go time.
This going a third time going into Baja, and it's just a different world down there.
I don't think you can just describe Baja with one thing. It's just it's a lot of things that just flow together.
For me, it's like the epitome of uncharted, unexplored off-road riding. For one time in our lives, we're getting to go down there just to ride.
Is that part of the Titanic?
No, that is the Titanic. I want to know the story behind this thing.
Wow, that's a big boat, too.
Yes. I'm going down here exploring.
A legitimate, for real life shipwreck in Mexico.
Found this thing on the internet, found it on Google Earth, zoomed in on it, said we got to go see it. And we have ridden literally since 6 o'clock this morning, and the sun's about to go down.
Yeah, Baja definitely has a mystique to it. I mean, that's part of the lure, you know.
Feeling pretty good so far. I feel like it's only gonna get better. Sun's coming up. Mr. Mal's listening to Alanis Morissette or something along those lines. Getting us all amped up.
First order of business in the morning was getting the tool bag rounded up, for sure.
Extra parts, spare tires.
I think Mr. Mal had kind of laid down the law when we got back. He didn't want no cars leaving without a tool bag, so we weren't going to make that mistake again. Just Baja prepping. We're repairing Burrow's car, looking over that thing, make sure it's not going to fall apart on us again today.
Checking lug nuts, if you will.
We know what their prep program's like now, so.
Maybe that should be a how-to video.
Got things accomplished yesterday. Put some miles on the bikes, over 300 to be exact. Baja roughs them up a little bit. They massage them a little bit, so we're gonna unmassage them and go back out today.
Day 2, we knew we had to get up early because we wanted to make it to the beach, which was also a long haul.
Which is a really cool, fun ride. I think it's like 30 or 40 miles through like rocks and nice, cool elevation changes, mountains.
And we kind of learned like we could potentially have some issues, so we need to be prepared if we want to make it all the way there.
Across one guy's property, we had to pay him a little money.
We need $8.
So you pull up there and pay him a little money, and he'd let the rope down, and he'd put the rope back up and go sit back on the porch until somebody else needed up there.
So we get on down the trail. We're having a good time trail riding, man, just ripping it up, sliding some corners, and lo and behold,
Get that radio call that DEH is down again. So here we go.
So there I was, just moseying along, minding my own business.
On flat surface, literally unloading it off the trailer, so.
Oh, yeah.
it goes all the way from side to side.
Yeah.
Something did that.
They were the same stuff y'all did.
He said there was nothing in the road. He said he didn't hit nothing that we all didn't hit.
You had to hit something for to put a big gash like that.
You hit something on your tire? Yeah. What'd you hit? A little rock. Maybe you hit it at a different angle than I did.
And that made it sound like somebody from Deliverance threw a hatchet through the woods and caught the side of his tire or something like that.
He says no, but tire says otherwise.
You know, just simple tire change. You know, I'm thinking no big deal until it becomes a big deal.
Uh-oh, is it turning? Let me see. Oh man, it backed out.
We had no idea the can of worms that we were fixing to open.
Let's go ahead and spin it.
Our trail fix yesterday come back to bite us a little bit.
We can't get the lug nut off because it's just spinning inside the knuckle.
By this time we had drawn a crowd, you know, a little posse.
A little bit awkward that we're out here in the middle of the road trying to fix the car, but it's Baja, man. You got to get it fixed. You got to get going. Man, he's gonna run up to the tire shop right here and see if they got a little welder, and we'll weld the stud to the hub, break it loose then. Of all things to have needed in Baja that we didn't bring, we needed a welding machine.
Surely they're not gonna have one of those in this little town.
Okay, I have returned from my travels west, and we found a welder, and he's willing to help.
This is the kind of experience that you don't tell Mom about, because she would be worried.
That's the biggest pair of shoes I've ever seen in my life. Nice taxidermy shop here in the same place. Getting these ready to mount.
I didn't even want to let Miss Linda know. I just wanted to get the car fixed and get to riding again.
It's melted together. Got a stripped out bolt, so we're gonna buffer on it and try to buff it out. You all know that in Baja, anything buffs out.
I don't feel like my negotiating skills are really good down here in Mexico, so they got me for 20.
That's it.
But I'm thankful we needed the help, and we're back on the road. We're golden. We figured out down here. And that's how you get it done out here in Baja.
So like usual, we're behind schedule again. We're trying to get to the coast and ride on the beach.
We're clicking along, knocking off some miles. It's a long ride, and it's getting late, and we got a lot of ground to cover, and so it's gonna be cutting it close if we're gonna make it before the sun goes down.
And I never thought I was gonna get to do it. Heck yeah, I'm driving on the beach.
We've never got the opportunity to ride on the beach, so we've always thought that'd be a cool thing to do because it's so long and flat, and like you could get a car stretched out.
Yeah, we got to the beach and did some drag racing. They have bigger tunes, bigger turbos, and my little ORC just put a whooping on all of them.
So we're 600 miles in on this trip and just have covered so much ground and had such a good time already that if the trip literally ended right now, that would be okay with me because we got to do some pretty amazing stuff already.
You know, you go down there racing, it's just, bam, you got to go do this, bam, you got to do that. You don't really get to stop, enjoy the place and the scenery and the people.
What a day, what a day.
This was fun.
Quite an experience. You just can't not smile when you're down here. For me, thus far, it was the coolest and just most dynamic trip that we've ever got to do together.
Baja should definitely be on the riding list for a lot of people. It does not disappoint.
Was the most fun trip to date, at least for me anyway. It combined a little bit of everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm done.
Majority of the people are just hard-working folks, and they're very cordial, and they're just great to be around.
I wouldn't mind living in Mexico, man, in Ensenada or somewhere close. I got one spot I really like, but I'm not telling nobody.
Big, give him Manny's shoulders. Hot, dead center, right above the date.
I'm with that.
Oh, man, it's beautiful. Wait, will you carry me to my car?
I'm just kidding. You about made me fall.
And for people like us that like to ride Can-Ams, you respect the culture down there, find shipwrecks, ride on the beach, that's an off-road heaven for us. You just have to treat it with respect, and that's what I love.
On the next episode of Visions of Victory.
Cleaning the shop up, making it look presentable. We got some distinguished guests coming in.
Taking these guys mud riding, I know it's gonna be a culture shock.
Matt Burrows from Monster Energy's coming in. Casey and Cody Curry.
One weekend of just insane craziness.
Charging hard tomorrow. My car's ain't broken yet.
It didn't take long for a simple four-seater Defender that we can haul people around in to become a low-blow 2.0. No, you don't have to stand like this, not a picture.
I thought this was a pic.
No, this is a video.
It's a video?
He's actually taking a video right now.
Uh-oh. I lost the trailer keys. Mouth just gave me.
Looks like somebody been trying to tighten this thing up with a katana.
Really all right where I left them in the door.
That kind of looks like I've been working on this thing with samurai sword.
It's hard to believe that this is actually a pirate ship from pre-Civil War era. There was so much booty on this thing.
When I say action, I mean action, right? I want some action out of y'all.